Not to sound arrogant or to sound like, I told you so, but to give it a little bit credit to the clan. If you've been following me since the arrest of Vusmuzi Matlala, and we started hearing what he is being accused of begin to unravel. And then the beginning of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. And then we got to learn more about Kat Matlala. Do you remember what I said? Do you remember my advice? And the reason why I picked Vusmuzi Kat Matlala is because from where I was seated, he's not the big fish. He's not the member of the cartel. Vuskat Matlala has had his eye on very important things so that he can control not only the state, but also control the cartel. After the death of Mswazi, there was a leadership vacuum. Maybe he tried to occupy it, but then there was another elder man, the one no one wants to talk about or even mention his name. And I'm talking about police officers in high ranks. Probably he was like, I'm still here. And then Kat Matlala was Zokhombisa. And you remember what I said. Because Kat Matlala is a treasure trove, he needs to bargain with the state. He needs to bargain with the state, because when he bargains with the state, and I don't know how many years that he was going to be offered, but I knew it was not going to be any more than 12 years. Now, let's break this down. Fraud and corruption in South Africa, I think they are Schedule 1 offense, and you spend, if you are found guilty, between 15 to 20 years in prison, depending on the aggravation of the crime. Now, Kat Matlala had to plead guilty on 5 charges, if I'm not mistaken. Guilty, 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 guilty.
Yourself as accused number 1, pertaining the count of fraud involving certain bid documentation in respect of a tender to the value of 228,665,280 rand. As accused number 1, how do you plead to this count?
I plead guilty. Guilty.
Thank you. As the representative of accused number 2, in line with Exhibit A1, how does accused number 2 plead to the count of fraud?
Guilty as well.
I now move to counts number 2, 3, and 4. Those are the counts of corruption. In respect of count yourself as accused 1, in respect of count number 2, how do you plead?
Guilty.
In respect of count number 3, you as accused number 1, how do you plead?
Guilty.
In respect of count number 4, you as accused number 1, how do you plead?
Guilty.
In respect of count number 2, regarding accused number 2, whom you duly represent in line with Exhibit A1, how does accused number 2 plead?
Guilty.
In respect of count number 3,
Guilty.
how does accused number 2 plead?
Guilty.
In respect of count number 4, how does accused number 2 plead?
Guilty.
And the reason why he chose to say guilty is because in 4 years, after spending at least 2/3 of his sentence, which is recommended, by the way, to be 8 years, instead of him facing 50 years, 60 years on these 5 counts that he pled guilty for, chopped down all the way to 8 years. So do you see when I say going to the Matlala Commission of Inquiry and then you think you're going to be smart and you know that you are going to get caught? Like right now we have Tumelo Nku, the so-called informant. He's smart. I mean, very smart. But he cannot outsmart the facts. He cannot outsmart the jurist in the name of Madlanga, Commissioner Baloy, and Commissioner Kumalo. So he sat there and he thought, as long as there is no paper trail, I'm all good. And you go there and you lie and you try to mislead the commission, you are making matters worse. And Kat Matlala is very lucky, I would say, that he never got the opportunity to appear before the Matlala Commission of Inquiry. Because if he did, I doubt that he would have been able to have his sentence reduced down to 8 years, because he would have misled the Matlala Commission of Inquiry. I mean, he was misleading the Error Committee when it came to Jose Mampuru. You could tell that here he's telling lies. And you can tell even here he's telling lies. But the Error Committee itself, very questionable. They are so questionable that they all agreed that General Khan, there's no need to call him as a witness. And what's happening right now with General Khan? He's about to appear in the Matlala Commission of Inquiry. And from what I hear, he is shaking like a leaf. So Kat Matlala has done himself a favor. At least he will be able to see the sun after spending at least 2/3 majority. Is it a third or 2/3 majority of your sentence? So that means he will be in prison between 3.5 years, 4 years, probably even 5 years. On good behavior, then he will be released. But to bargain with the state is not an easy thing to do, because you need to write down some names that are very important. And here's something that is quite interesting that came about IDEC. Allegedly, IDEC, while they were negotiating with Kat Matlala was asked to implicate innocent people. Lieutenant General Ntlatlam Khwanazi, General Dumsane Khumalo, and others. So you can tell that IDEC is fighting, if this is true, is fighting to protect the cartel. And do you think the cartel is happy with Kat Matlala? I don't think so. They did not foresee this coming. And that is why I said on this channel, if I was Kat Matlala, I will pull the carpet under the cartel's feet by bargaining with the state and hold nothing back. Because that is exactly what the NPA needs, so that we dismantle the cartel, however many they are. Kat Matlala knows them, because I think at one point he wanted to be the big boy. So he does have an axe to grind. And that's what is making it so exciting for me. When I saw, while I was watching The Liar, Nku, I was like, this is big. Maybe the big fish we've been looking for, finally we are going to hear about them. Because I don't think that the NPA will just give him 8 years without him having dropped some serious names. So in the next coming few weeks, it's going to be very interesting. I don't know. Are we going to have press conferences every Sunday? Or are we going to be seeing arrests every Sunday? Which politician that is busy right now with their lawyer consulting? Because Kat Matlala has bargained with the state, and definitely they are implicated. It's going to be very interesting the next few months, weeks actually. People are going to be rounded up. Politicians are going to be rounded up. Business people. are going to be rounded up. It's going to be interesting. And those whose names cannot be mentioned, them too, they're going under the jail, as Sims Wright would say. So South Africa is about to get really, really interesting. I saw Cyril Ramaphosa in the NCOP, National Council of Provinces. He was answering some questions, and he kind of also dropped, without dropping, nuggets that things are about. Basically, he was trying to say the Popeye shall dance in South Africa. And my question was, are you one of the Popeyes that are going to be dancing? Because Cat Matlala has sung like a canary. Now, the question is, if IDEC wants innocent people implicated by Cat Matlala, then the head of IDEC is a wrong person in this position. Isn't she committing some kind of a crime, defeating the ends of justice or obstruction of justice? And on top of that, as individuals, like Fanny Masemula, because allegedly Fanny Masemula must be one of the people that are implicated by Cat Matlala, doesn't that boils down to defamation of character? And by the way, defamation of character seems to have gone up from 500,000 Rand should the court find you on a balance of probabilities that you indeed defamed a person. Yeah, Malema got R1 million from Gizo Mchunu, and recently I'm hearing R1 million lawsuit victories. Does Miss Johnson have all that money? It's going to be interesting to see. Oh, it's going to be very interesting to see. Now, I was speaking about Witness Nku. Witness Nku, currently at the Matlala Commission of Inquiry, he's on the stand. The man has built himself a web of lies, and gotten himself trapped in there. You know, there were so many times that the Matlala Commission itself gave him some, how would you put, some courtesies to say, yeah, exactly that. But no, he wants to create a scenario as he goes, because he's anticipating the questions. And then when the question doesn't go according to the way he's anticipating, so much so that even Commissioner Kumalo, including the chairperson, said, listen, let us finish our question. Don't anticipate. Don't talk on top of us. It's going to affect the record. The record is going to record as gibberish because two people are speaking at the same time. Why? Because at first I could tell that he was nervous, but his nerves manifested into, I'm just going to deceive them. You are carrying 65,000 Rand in cash in your vehicle and you go to Durban because your antennas said, oh, there's a ship that is coming from Brazil carrying nefarious products in it. And so I'm going to sound the bell to Mr. Mashaba, a traffic officer. And then you come back with this truck. He says, well, the truck went ahead of me. I was only told about the truck on its way, already about to reach Johannesburg. That's when I drove back. I used the 5,000 Rand to hire a hotel in Durban, and I had 60,000 Rand in cash on me. And that 60,000 is a petty cash. At first, he said the 60,000 Rand was, petty cash. From petty cash, it became money for... they spent a lot of time on this 60,000, 65,000 Rand. To a point where his banking records showed that he did fill up petrol for about 1,600 Rand or something like that. What kind of car was he driving? And also, he also spent, there's some withdrawals that are showing in his statements, I don't think he counted on that. That there's this thing called paper trail. And now the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry wants to know the hotel that he slept one night before coming back on the 8th of July, 2021. Let me guess what he's going to say. Oh, because I'm an undercover, this, undercover, that, my name is not going to be Tumelonku. I think that's what he's going to say, because he did not sleep in the hotel. He drove overnight, got there, and came back with the truck. That's my suspicion, at least. He's going to fail to produce that evidence because he has rendered the commissioners as idiots. That's what he has done. And he brought a lawyer. Oh, this lawyer was quite stern in the beginning. And I think he also may have, from what I was observing, hamstrung the commissioners, because he made a threat of what Bram Khotsi did with, I remain silent because I do not want to implicate myself. So because the Commission of Inquiry wants answers, so they were tiptoeing around Mr. Nku. That's what I was observing. I don't know if you observed the same thing. So they were tiptoeing around Nku, so much so that where Justice Matlala is supposed to have lost his temper like he has done with some of the witnesses that are lying, he would not. He would hold himself. I was like, okay, so you played with the emotions in the beginning by trying to control what they think. But I'm glad that they cut through all of that by asking hardcore questions that now have put Mr. Nku in a very bad light. Because from where I am seated, he never was an informant. This guy was an eyes and ears of the cartel, the owners of those drugs. And as I was watching him and observing him, he's a smart guy. And I was like, yeah, to run a cartel, you would need intelligent people who are good in tech. And part of that tech, when he said he could hack in anything, but he says ethically, I was like, oh my goodness, the Nkabi, before going to do the job, it's people like him with a piece of paper and say, this is the address. Because that's what cartels need. Somebody who is technologically savvy. That's very interesting. That is so interesting. Because I got a lot of questions about Mr. Nku. And some cold bodies that are lying in graves around the country because of everything that is happening with these drugs. I have so many questions. But yeah, it's just a commission of inquiry that is trying to find out what influence does the cartel have in the South African police service. And it's showing. And I think all of this is going to be confirmed by Kat Matlala when his plea bargain, the conditions to sing like a canary. Bon Julius Mkwanazi are going behind bars probably for the rest of their lives. Mike van Wyk, same. And the Mashaba dude, same thing. Witness K. Wow. This South Africa is interesting, y'all. A lot is going on. But most importantly, fellow South Africans, like I always say, we are God's country, where people try to throw rotten eggs at us, call us names, say all these horrible things, God comes and say, not in my eye though. Not in my eye. And Bafana qualifies for the first time. They make history to be part of the 32 teams. Congratulations to us. I mean, I waited until I fell asleep, until in my area, it was as if it was New Year's Eve. The clock just struck 12 midnight. It's the new year because there were crickets. I thought we were getting bombed. I was like, what's happening? I knew exactly what was happening. I was so happy because we are God's country. That's who we are. So they can hate and hate. It's not on us. It's on them. It's not on us. So not once should you focus on their jealousy and their hatred simply because we are showing them a template on how to hold your government accountable. They hate us for that. But let's keep pushing, fellow South Africans. We are getting rid of criminals in our systems. We are also getting rid of illegal foreigners that are trying to destroy our systems and erase us. And I'm telling you, on all fronts, South Africans are going to win. Evil can never prevail over good. Ever. Darkness can never take over lightness. Good can never be defeated by bad. That is us, South Africans. We will overcome. Like we've overcame so many things. So many things. Anyways, I don't know. What are your thoughts about Cat Matlala and the plea bargain? But we called it here. It was this very channel that we called it. That Cat Matlala ought to bargain with the state. In fact, it was almost like an advice. I don't know if they watch this channel. If they do, see, I was right. Yeah. And the reason why I was saying this is because we want the real bad guys. Yes, Cat Matlala is the real bad guy. But to remove a thorn, you also need to use a thorn. Yeah. That's the whole picture that I was painting. 8 years. When he's supposed to be going behind bars for more than 50 years. But then again, this country and concurrently, I hate concurrently. Consecutively, yes, you spend 5 years, and when you're done with your 5 years, then you go for your 15 years that you were also found guilty for a certain crime, and then you spend that 15 years. When it's over, you go for another 15 years. But no, they'll say concurrently, and then, oh, I hate it. I do. Anyways, fellow South Africans, thank you so much for watching, and we shall see each other during the day because Nkui is going to be back. Oh, I almost forgot about Kareem. Who else knew that Kareem was going to do that same stunt 3 times already? And this time around, Senior Counsel Matthew Chaskelson was like, we are now going to be forced to call our own medical experts. Does this man really has a heart problem? Has he been admitted to hospital for heart condition? And why is it every time when he's about to appear, boom, he has heart problems, he's admitted to hospitals, and yet he's able to travel? When he's not expected to come to the Matlala Commission of Inquiry. And I did say this before. The man was the bank for the cartel. He's got statements that he will not be able to answer to. Where did this money come from and where did it go to? Cat Matlala just comes and takes 10 million rand in a form of a loan. There's nothing written down as an agreement how you're going to pay this money over what period of time. 10 million rand is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But yeah, I guess Cat Matlala will have to rat out Kareem as conditions for bargaining with the state so that he can spend only 8 years in prison. What do you think about Kareem? I think he's playing games. I think that's what he's trying to avoid appearing at the Matlala Commission of Inquiry because the bank statements, he has no idea how to defend that money that goes in and out. That's why he's avoiding everything, in my opinion. And that, guys, once again, please have yourselves a wonderful day. We shall come back and have more discussions. But members of the clan, once again, we did it. We made a prediction, we gave advice, and it was taken. Now we know we're about to get the real deal of the troublemakers in this country because they think this is their father's puzzle shop. Goodbye.